Hi folks, HR Funk here with a third and what I think is going to be the final installment in my review of my BH Spring Solutions Enhanced P35 Charles Daly High Power Pistol. And in the last segment of this video, I conducted a close-up shop review of this handgun, and in that video, I talked about all of the enhancements and modifications that BH Spring Solutions performed on this pistol. And I also mentioned in that video I was going to roll in a before photo so you could see what it looked like back before I sent it to BH Spring Solutions, in case you missed the before video that I produced back. I believe that went live on March 1st. And in watching the video later, I realized I forgot to put that before photo in. So I'm going to roll it in now so you can get a look at the appearance of this handgun before I send it to BH Spring Solutions. Then I'll roll in a close-up after photo so you can see what it looks like now. But that's pretty much going to do it for the appearance in this video, because what I'm going to be doing today is looking at how well this pistol shoots. And specifically, I want to see if it shoots as good as it looks. So if you saw the before video that I recorded with the Charles Daly High Power before I sent it to BH Spring Solutions, you know that in that video I performed an accuracy test with the factory barrel, factory trigger, etc. to see what the level of accuracy was that I was getting before I sent it back for these enhancements. And I also said in that video that when the pistol returned to me, I wanted to perform the same test. And in fact, I kept the same ammunition in the same boxes from the time that I recorded that first test back in February. And I used it again yesterday when I went back out to the range with this handgun. And once again, when I got there, I sat up from the bench at a distance of 15 yards from the target, and resting on sandbags, I fired 5-shot groups with 124 grain SIG V-Crown ammunition and 124 grain Speer Lawman ammunition. Now, I have to give you a little bit more information because things didn't go quite right when I was recording those video segments. And essentially, the video that I had when I finished recording the accuracy was not usable. I had some technical difficulties, and I ended up just having to trash it. So what I have are photos of the shot groups that I was able to fire with this handgun from that distance of 15 yards. I started out with the SIG V-Crown, and as is my habit, I did not do any shooting with the handgun before I got to the range. So I went out there, put everything together, sat down, and started to fire. And the rear sight was not in proper adjustment for that distance of 15 yards. So I ended up with a shot group that was about 3.5 or 4 inches high. Now, the 5-shot group that I fired had 4 shots that were within 1 inch center to center, and there was one shot and I knew it was a bad trigger press. When the shot broke, I saw the front sight dip, and it ended up opening the group up to about 2 inches, but it was because of that one bad shot. And I'm going to roll in a photo of the target from that accuracy test, and you'll be able to see the shot group. So truthfully, that 1 inch 4-shot cluster at the top, those were all 4 good trigger breaks, and that low shot that opened it up to 2 inches was just not a good trigger break. That said, even 2 inches from that distance is still pretty good, and that's about what this handgun shot with that ammo, with the factory barrel, factory trigger, etc. But essentially, these enhancements have reduced the group size to about half of what it was with that SIG V-Crown ammunition, which, by the way, is pretty accurate ammunition. And I've shot that in a variety of different handguns to this point, and it performs very, very well. And through this new BH Spring Solutions barrel, it's equally impressive, if not more so. So after firing that 5-shot group, I dialed down the rear sight, got everything into proper adjustment. I fired this 3-shot group. So now I'm hitting point of aim, point of impact, and I decided to go on with the next part of the accuracy test, which was going to involve the same drill, only this time using the 124 grain Speer Lawman ammunition. And here's what that group looked like. And the Speer Lawman has not been nearly as accurate as that 124 grain V-Crown ammunition that I used before. It was not as accurate in the original test when I got out to the range, and it was not as accurate this time around with the new barrel. Even so, there was an accuracy improvement. I believe that group that you're looking at in the photo is about 2 inches or so, and it was significantly larger with the original barrel back when I fired it in February. So with the shooting from the bench out of the way, I decided it was time to shoot this handgun the way it's supposed to be shot, which is standing with a two-hand combat hold, and I was firing from a distance of 7 yards, again trying to see just how much accuracy I could get, but shooting from a actual shooting position, not resting on the bench. And here's how that went. Now that's more like it. I don't really think the P35 high power is particularly well suited for shooting from the bench, but when you shoot it the way it's supposed to be shot, from a combat hold, you can see the accuracy it's capable of, especially with that BHSS enhanced barrel. With the new trigger, those components allow me to take advantage of the accuracy of this pistol, and I'm extremely happy with that from a distance of 7 yards. So now let's move on and try something else. So like I said, that was more like it, and now things were starting to feel very, very good with this BHSS enhanced P35 high power. So I went to a distance of 5 yards and started my defensive drills, and first up from that distance was controlled pairs, and here's how they went. And there's a nice start with those controlled pairs. I've got 5 out of the 6 that are just a little over an inch center to center, basically centered in the target. One shot I pulled a little bit low. That's just me getting a little bit heavy on this trigger, but very good accuracy on that drill from that distance of 5 yards. Now let's go back to 7 yards, and from that distance, I'll try some failure drills. All right, and there's 3 smoke and failure drills, folks. The shots to the body are all, again, nicely centered. The shots in the head are all in this no reflex zone. So I'm extremely happy with the way this BHSS enhanced high power is shooting. The trigger is living up to its reputation. The pointability of the high power is always superior. And the SFS system is not causing me any distraction as I come up to shoot these drills. Next, I moved back to a distance of 15 yards, and from that distance, I came up and tried to fire 5 shots into the body, and I was maintaining a relatively fast shot tempo, and here's how things went from 15 yards. So I was running those shots kind of fast from 15 yards. As you can see, I pulled 3 of the 4 a little bit low. Got one of them here, the other one is in this group. So I should have probably slowed down a little bit. But the thing I notice about this trigger is it wants to be cycled quickly. So it's really easy to wrap those things off. And my accuracy suffered that time a little bit, not because of the pistol, but because of me. So let me move back to 25 yards now. I'll slow down a little bit and we'll see what the accuracy looks like from that distance. So what do you know? When I slow down and actually employ some basic marksmanship principles, all of a sudden my accuracy gets a whole lot better. That group from 25 yards is much tighter than the group that I shot from 15 yards. Those shots are 1, 2, 3, and the other 2 are in here someplace. So from 25 yards, standing unsupported with the BHSS enhanced high power, that's probably, I don't know, 6.5, maybe 7 inches. I'd have to measure it to see for sure. What I know is it's staying well centered in the chest area of the target from that distance. And particularly with this big dot sight, which is not a precision sight, I am very happy with that accuracy that I'm getting from this handgun. Now it's time to find out if the BHSS enhanced high power is a 7-yard tack driver. So here we go. And I can't tell. Yes! On the very first shot, it was such a perfect shot that the shape of the shot hole made it look like the tack was still there. So on the first shot, the BHSS enhanced high power is a 7-yard tack driver. So yes, the BH Spring Solutions enhanced high power is a 7-yard tack driver. And I have to tell you folks, the more I shot this handgun out there yesterday, the happier I was shooting it in defensive drills, shooting it the way a high power should be shot. It just performs extremely well. In fact, I don't think it's a stretch to say it shoots just as good as it looks. So that's going to do it for my review of the BHSS Enhanced P35 High Power. I said all the way back in February that if you have an old high power clone like an FEG, like a Charles Daly, or if you have an old original high power and you want to have it customized, BH Spring Solutions can do a wide variety of things to your handgun. They can improve the appearance, they can improve the functionality, and they can take something that maybe has been relegated to the back of your safe for a long time that you haven't done much shooting with and make it something that you really enjoy carrying and shooting. And I've got to tell you, this is the handgun that's going to go with me when I'm going somewhere that I want to have a handgun that people are going to see and I want it to look impressive. I'm going to put it in a nice holster. And if I'm going to the barbecue or what have you, this is what people are going to see and I'm going to be very proud of it. Thanks to Mark and Slav from BH Spring Solutions for all the work on my handgun. Thank you to Leon Hubert for the fantastic design enhancements he has come up with. And again, I just couldn't be happier with this pistol. In any case, folks, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code and listen, because this has changed, Optics Planet has upped the discount code for my viewers from 5% to 7%. So now if you use that discount code, it'll save you 7% off your purchase from Optics Planet. Also remember the discount code from House of Pain Munitions. If you go to House of Pain, you can use my discount code there, which is HRFUNK10, and that'll save you 10% off your purchase from House of Pain. Last and certainly not least is the Target sponsor for the channel. That is Targets Online. Go to the Targets Online website, check out their inventory, and see if they have anything that's going to meet your Target needs. See you next time, folks. And until then, with a classic pistol that has a classy look, good shooting. Bye-bye.